One of them grabbed me by the necktie and stuck a gun in my face. Back in 1972, I was setting up an evangelism training conference at a church in San Francisco. The people started coming in the evening it started, and like a good person who was in charge of registration, I kind of hung around the back for any latecomers. And 3 walked into the door, and I started to go over towards them, and the next thing I knew, one of them grabbed me by the necktie and stuck a gun in my face. And I thought about a quarter of a second about resisting. I suddenly realized that if I resist, I could die. And I did not want to die. They put me down on the floor. They didn't hurt me physically. I felt almost detached from what was happening as I watched them go through my wallet very carefully, made sure they got all the money that was there, wasn't a whole bunch. They took my watch and they said, "Don't go out the door for another 10 minutes. And so when it was over, I was of course so scared, I couldn't even describe what they looked like. I mean, I had just been robbed. We moved eventually to Atlanta, and I found myself that I was assigned to do prison ministry. Kind of like Jonah, I felt like I wanted to go a different direction. And I thought, why in the world would I want to do prison ministry? I just didn't want anything to do with those people. I thought they were horrible, they stuck guns in my face, and I just did not want to minister to the people who had robbed me and possibly could have killed me if I had made the wrong choice. And I just didn't know what to do with that. And I began to think, I could have been a victim of murder, but instead, God chose to bring me to people who had committed that crime, that they needed Jesus Christ. And the very first time I went into prison, I was scared to death. And suddenly you have like 6 sets of gates electronically closing behind you and slamming, and okay, if a riot breaks out, I'll make the headlines because hostage captured and killed. But I began to meet some of the men who were in prison, and I realized they were regular people. And one of the first 2 guys I met, they were cellmates, and they went to the first initial meeting, and both those men prayed to receive Christ. One was due to be released in about 7 weeks. The other was in for a life plus 20-year sentence. And I said to him, "So Billy, does it ever look like you'll be getting out?" He said, "It doesn't matter if I'm in prison or not. I can serve the Lord here." That struck me. And to realize that God can use his men and women to make impact for Jesus Christ where they're at, knowing that Jesus Christ can really make a difference in their lives. And I began to see that ministry to men in prison was something that God had begun to give me a heart for, because God had produced healing in my life, was able to spill over into the lives of others. And I guess you could compare it to the story of Jonah. God told him to go to Nineveh. And he ran away. But God unmistakably brought him back. He went to Nineveh, and the city repented. I guess you can say that God took me to my great fish, and as time passed, he began to help me see that there were people that I did not want to minister to who needed to hear the gospel, and those people were in prison. So God sent me to my Nineveh, and I would rather be nowhere else than doing where God has called us in this area. So I guess what I would challenge any believer would be to seek out what God wants you to do. You may be tempted to go back the other way, but keep your heart open to God's Spirit leading, and you will see him do some incredible things that there will be no other explanation for than that you just have to be available to God to use. in a way that you may not have imagined, but used in a way that will affect people's lives for eternity.